A young boy who was humiliated in the past by her crush for being fat becomes a hot guy, and he comes back to take his revenge, but he soon learns many things and shocking truths. Hello and welcome back to our channel Ice Guy. Today we are going to do a recap of the anime series called MasaMune-Kun no Revenge. Episode 1. The first time we see MasaMune, the camera pans through his bedroom, which consists of pretty high-end workout, exercise equipment. We get the idea that he takes his physique seriously. And the episode starts off with him having just completed a workout and proceeding to check himself out in the mirror, admiring his body. But in the past, MasaMune was a chubby little kid, but after years of training, he manages to lose weight and becomes a hot guy. This was all so he could get revenge on a girl who called him pig's foot as a child by making her fall in love with him and dumping her in return. When he goes downstairs to breakfast, which his family has made for him, he immediately calculates the calories in his head and rejects the meal, and chastising his weirdly young-looking sister and younger-looking mother for their eating habits. From there, we're taken through MasaMune's reflections and views about life as he goes to school. In a nutshell, your value only comes from how hot you are. He has recently transferred to a new school. Where his looks earn him massive popularity, but in reality he is out for revenge on a heartbreak, so he transfers to Yasaka High School. As the episode progresses, we see that this mindset is the norm throughout the school, and good-looking people are treated like royalty. He is on a mission to capture Iki Adagaki's heart and break it in the same sense as she did to him. MasaMune finds out about cruel princess personality. Iki, a rich girl who is popular despite her terrible attitude. When a student confesses to her, she publicly announces all of his secrets and saddles him with an embarrassing nickname, destroying his reputation. In this scene, she is confessed by a super hot guy in a Romeo and Juliet type fashion, and she cuts him down, revealing that he bought a volume of a gender swap manga last week. His internet power fantasy novel, which has the main character sharing his name, and the fact that he has a hairy mole on his chest. She gives him the nickname Moli, having her maid, Yoshino Koiwai, unwrap a 25 feet long banner with Moli on it. MasaMune soon discovers that Iki is admired by girls and feared by boys, which was very shocking to him, and it was also the reason why she got the nickname Cruel Princess. During his school day, MasaMune meets the class rep, Iki's shy maid, and a Kinsweet's loving boy named Kajuro. Upon learning from Kajuro that Iki always eats lunch alone, he stalks her and learns that this is because she enjoys eating cheap, high-calorie meals from convenience stores. He is shocked to know Iki's very big appetite. After this discovery, Iki starts actually spending time with MasaMune to ensure he doesn't share her secret, earning MasaMune the jealousy of many other boys. Walking home from school, Yoshino left Iki to collect something, leaving her unprotected. During this time, Akio Tanabe tried to attack her. MasaMune saves Iki from a rejected suitor who tries to cut off her hair. Despite his otherwise crappy behavior, this seems to make her start to fall for him. However, this is all revealed to be part of MasaMune's plan. He and Iki were acquaintances when younger, and she rejected his feelings because of his weight, motivating him to get into shape. He is getting closer to Iki now, not out of any genuine feelings, but to fulfill his strange idea of revenge, though he complained about the injury. Episode 2. The episode begins with a flashback of MasaMune showing his training to change his appearance. MasaMune receives a letter with the words pig's foot written on it and realizes someone knows about his past. When having found that somebody knows about his past, MasaMune panics and tries to find out who knows about his nickname, Piggy. Still thinking on who gave the message on the paper to him, MasaMune becomes wary of his surroundings, scared that the mysterious person might reveal his dark past. During lunch, he meets Yoshino and helps her buy food for Iki. He decides to tag along with her to Iki's hiding place. MasaMune tries to flirt with Iki. He looks at her and claims her to be just like Cinderella. The reaction he wanted from her was successful before he leaves. In the afternoon, it is revealed that Yoshino had deduced MasaMune's revenge and caught him in a trap. Soon it's been revealed that Yoshino was the one to write the note, shocking MasaMune as MasaMune realizes Yoshino was present during his childhood friendship with Iki. She asks about MasaMune's revenge plan. MasaMune had thought it was all over with his plans of revenge. However, he was surprised when Yoshino freed him to help him in succeeding his revenge, even though she had offered her assistance. The next day, MasaMune thinks about Yoshino's ulterior motive, and he fails to exchange contact information with T. Futaba. When he became a member of the beautification committee, He planned on getting closer to Aki, but his plan fails later that day. T asked him on going out to watch a movie, but he refused as he only had Aki in mind. Aki witnesses this, and while working up his courage, he asked Aki for her email, only to be played around with in the end as she refused.
修理来週この時間にここで
As Yoshino witnesses what happened to MasaMune, she says that if he leave things to her, he could exchange email addresses and go on dates. Yoshino grabs MasaMune's phone, then exchanged email addresses with him. Episode 3, T announces to Class 2B about the punishment of not scoring high enough on the upcoming assessment, extra lessons. This worries students, but the one most likely to receive punishment is Kajuro, who has yet to surpass double digits on his exams. MasaMune decides to help his friend study to pass. He goes to library and unexpectedly sees Aki and Yoshino also study. Aki questions MasaMune's intelligence, and the two make a bet on who is smarter based on the performances of Kajuro and Yoshino. MasaMune makes signals to Yoshino to help him out, but she tells Haim later she cannot. On exam day, MasaMune is feeling good until after the break, when his stomach starts to hurt. He suspects Yoshino after she gave him something to drink.
挑んだ勝負なのに小祝さんを
But finds out it was his mother's cooking. In the end, neither Aki nor MasaMune passed and both ended up having to take supplemental lessons. However, Yoshino had planned for a horrid date for them, which caused MasaMune and Aki to be embarrassed. MasaMune and Aki are going on their first date together, arranged by Yoshino. However, Aki shows up cosplaying a character from Futari wa Pretty Cure. She had taken advice from Yoshino to dress like that, unknowing that she was deceived. On their date, the two watch a scary movie where Aki loses her cool and then eat at a restaurant. A little girl asks about the costume, to the point where MasaMune explains indirectly that Aki was deceived by Yoshino. When Aki goes to change into normal clothing, MasaMune peeks on her accidentally when she screams. She hits him and he passes out. Some time later he wakes up to see his head resting in Aki's lap, who has also fallen asleep. MasaMune has a quick reflection about his plan when she wakes up and goes home. MasaMune calls Yoshino and tells her about the day as he walks home.
さっきはびっくりさせるような真似して
政宗は
Episode 4. MasaMune is planning his strategy to get revenge on Aki by reading the shoujo manga, Barasuit, and after having studied shoujo manga all night long, Makabe is confident that he will be able to make Adagaki fall for him. During supplementary class, he decided to try out some of lines he picked up. Despite all of his work though, Aki was not at all impressed. It rains one afternoon while MasaMune and Aki had to stay behind for extra lessons, and the former offers his umbrella to the latter before running off in the rain. Yoshino is updated on this and tells MasaMune he needs to slow down his advances and ignore her for a while. MasaMune resorts to his manga for advice only to find the same thing Yoshino told him. Later that night, Makabe met up with Yoshino at a playground, where she informed him that Adagaki found his efforts to be seriously creepy, much to his disappointment. Yoshino told him that it is important to mix things up, and told him to be as cold to Aki the next day as he could. The next several days, he did just as Yoshino had advised, and ignored Adagaki. He didn't speak to her and, during supplementary class, sat as far away from her as possible. After a while, Adagaki confronted him in the hallway and asked him why he was ignoring her.
まさかずっとこのままだったりし
When she finds out his fake behavior of ignorance, she comments how mean it was. He then tells her about his love for her, to which she asks what specifically he likes. He does not know and gives a vague answer before running off to consult with Master Yoshino. She tells him to write it down in a letter. Aki followed him, trying to return his umbrella, then stumbled upon him meeting up with Yoshino. Neither Makabe nor Yoshino had noticed her presence at the time. As Makabe delivered a letter to Aki's locker the following day, she arrived and questioned what he is doing. Makabe tried to give her his letter, but instead, she crumpled it up and tossed it in the trash, saying that she despised him. She proceeded to yell at him until Yoshino appeared. Then, she suddenly ran away. Yoshino found Adagaki at a park alone with her thoughts, angrily stomping on the umbrella lent to her by Makabe. Yoshino tries to get Aki to admit her feelings, but she kept denying. When she finally turned around to face Yoshino again, she had disappeared. Having realized that Yoshino was gone, she took off to search for her. While looking for Yoshino, she starts to reflect, but her thoughts are interrupted when she heard Makabe shout and realized she was in the middle of the road, about to be hit by a car. Makabe was able to pull her out of the way just in time. At the side of the road, they have a serious moment, which is quickly interrupted when the girl in the car runs over to apologize to them. Then suddenly, she thanks God, then runs over to Makabe and embraces him, saying that she had been longing to see him. However, he does not remember the mysterious girl. and is left to stand there awkwardly in confusion. And that's all for today, guys. If you liked the recap and want more summaries like this, consider subscribing to our channel.